So putting forms underneath short gel polish nails. I know it sounds a strange thing to do, but I do it all the time and it gives me a really good result. Let me show you why and how I do it. Let's start by gently pushing back the cuticles with a cuticle pusher. This is a cuticle bit I use a lot. It gets really well down into the side walls and cleans up the cuticle super nice. When you're in the forward position on the e-file, you will work from right to left, and then when you change it into the reverse position, you'll work from left to right. Just be careful when you're doing this, but as I said, this really gives a really good clean up. Okay, so that's done. So let's go into reverse mode and just finish off cleaning off all the nails. Okay then, so I'm going to go into my sanding band and I'm just going to start with like small circular motions around the cuticle, and then just literally just sort of skip really carefully over the nail plate just to get rid of any sort of dust and debris that's left over, and just mat the nail down properly. Not at a high speed though, just keep it really low speed. Okay, so that's done. Let's just go in with some cleaner and get rid of all the old dust before we go in with some dehydrator on the nail plate. Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to let the dehydrator dry properly to a nice chalky finish before you start applying primer. Just be really sparing when you apply the primer. Just take it slow and try not to get it on the skin. Okay, so I'm going to be working on 4 fingers and I'm going to do the thumbs separately. Go grab yourself some forms and just get them pinched ready together. Don't worry about if you don't know how to fit them properly. All we just want to do is sort of sneak them under the free edge, and I'll tell you why shortly. As you can see, I'm not even being that careful. I'm just sort of putting them on and securing them underneath. So now that's done, I can go in with my base coat, which I'm using the Modelons one. I'm just going to start carefully and to push it up to the cuticle, not getting it on the skin. By doing it the way I am, it will allow you to cap the free edge so that you don't get like frayed, nasty short nails that the gel polish will chip off of. So when this is done, we're just going to throw that in the lamp and fully cure it. So I'm going to be using a gel polish from the Beetles Autumn collection, I should say. It's A107. It turns out to be like a beautiful sort of sea green. It's got a really nice consistency, and you're just going to be applying it thinly, and where you've got the forms on, you can actually afford to cap the edge without it running or making a mess like it always used to do. If you get it on the forms, it doesn't matter because that's going to come off anyway. Oops, made a mess on that one. I'll give you a sneaky trick. If you've got a fidgety client, what you can do is you can either work on every other nail, which I normally would do if I was doing 2 hands, or you can just sort of flash cure them in between to make sure the gel polish doesn't go everywhere and run into the side walls and cuticles. So that's the first layer done. I mean, look at that mess. Oh my god, it looks horrible, doesn't it? The good thing about it is it just doesn't matter, and I'll show you afterwards. It's not an issue at all. And if you look at my thumb, I've actually just sneakily done that while I've been doing something else. Okay, same thing again. Let's go in with a thin second coat on all of the nails. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've actually sped up a few of the videos, the segments, just a little bit, because otherwise it might be a bit boring to sit and watch. Comment down below if you don't like that. So when we're done with all for nails, I'm just going to put them in the lamp and cure them the full time. Okay, so that's that done. I know so many of you are going to be dying when you're looking at that because it looks really, really horrible when it's all floated down the form. But again, it doesn't matter. And I'm actually going to go straight in with a top coat. It's the matte one from Modelons that I wanted to try. Just going to bring it down like I normally would and just sort of sneak it underneath so I get to cap the free edge. Super important, cap the free edge, because otherwise there's no point in doing it this way. So, time for the big reveal. Let's just remove those forms carefully. And you can see they're coming off. There's just a little bit on the middle finger that is just sort of a leftover, but we're going to remove that with a file. Because now that they're done, we're just going to go really gently underneath with a 100 over 180 grit. And just sort of clean those edges up so that they look nice and that they're not rough. And they're not going to be thick underneath either. Because when the form came off, the leftover on the form also came off. See, when we're doing the middle finger, the one that was a bit ugly, that is just shaping up really nice and clean now. By doing it this way, you'll be able to cap the free edge properly with the base, the colour and the top coat. And this is the final result. Nice, thin gel polish nails that shouldn't chip. Please like and subscribe.